Hey guys, this is North back again with another video. Today's video, I'm going to give you my current top 10 favorite rose fragrances from within my collection. So let's go ahead and get it going. Now I actually have 13 fragrances here, so I'll mention the 3 honorable mentions first. And so get going. This one is from the House of Diptyque, one of my favorite houses. This one's called Eau Capitale. This is the Eau de Parfum concentration. I don't know if it came in the EDT. You can let me know in the comments. This particular one I got because they were saying it was similar to Portrait of a Lady. I kept on trying Portrait of a Lady. I really don't care for that fragrance too much, but I got this one because I was able to get a deal on it, and I still, for the life of me, still want to see if I can begin to appreciate it more. It was released in 2019. Some of the notes are pink pepper, bergamot rose, and patchouli. So this one didn't make the top 10. Moving on. The next fragrance I want to mention is from the house of Abdul Samad Al Quraishi. This is basically like a top 10 rose fragrance just because of what it actually is, but I didn't put it on my list this time, and this one is called Taif Rose. So Taif Rose. This particular one smells exactly like Taif rose oil that you can get from, say, Abdul Samad Al Quraishi. If you get a little a tola or quarter tola of it, this is exactly what it smells like. You know, it's a little like citrusy rose fragrance. It's very good. I don't wear it too often. I don't reach for it too often. That's why it didn't make the top 10 list. If I had 15 that I could think of that were rose dominant fragrances, then I would have made a top 15. But that's where this one is at the moment. But Taif Rose from Abdul Samad Al Quraishi. This is one you should definitely check out if you like just pure rose. And this will show you exactly what Taif rose oil would smell like. Moving on. The last one I want to mention is from the house of Aramis, and this one is a discontinued fragrance. I don't know what it's going for now, but I got it for a steal back not too long ago. And this one is Calligraphy Rose. This is a super powdery rose. People really love this fragrance. I love the saffron, Calligraphy saffron, a lot more. So Rose was released in 2013. The notes are saffron, honeysuckle, Turkish rose, myrrh, olibanum, ladanum, and ambergris. Like I said, it's just a very powdery rose fragrance. I haven't worn this in a very long time. It is a good one. It's not one of my favorite ones just because even though I love powdery scents, when I want a rose fragrance, I wasn't expecting it to be so powdery. Alrighty, coming in at number 10 on the list is from the house of MDCI, and this one is called Rose de Siwa. On the bottom it has the name Rose de Siwa. This one was perfumed by Francis Kirkjohn. I really don't talk about perfumers a lot because that's just one rabbit hole I don't want to go down. But Rose de Siwa is one that I wanted to have in my collection for a while. I just was waiting for a sale because to me this scent doesn't really warrant the like full retail price of this, which would be the same as like Chypre Palatine. And I don't love this as nearly as I love Chypre Palatine, but I do like it a lot. It is definitely a definition of a floral, woody, musk type of fragrance. Rose de Siwa, this one was released in 2006. Some of the notes are peony, lychee, rose, violet, vetiver, and Virginia cedar. And this is just, it's not a super rosy scent. It's more like a light floral, fruity floral type of scent, but I think that it's fun. The spot where I got this from here locally, they were doing a 50% off sale, so I figured why not go ahead and finally get it in the collection so that I can enjoy it. Definitely, I think it would be a good scent for like spring and summer for sure. But this one I have at number 10. Moving on. Number 9 on the list comes from the house of Perris Monte Carlo, and this one is Rose de Taif. So here we are with the Taif Rose again. So this particular bottle, this is the Extrait de Parfum concentration. So this is a 50 ml bottle. When I was first picking up on them, I thought they were 30 ml, but luckily they're 50 ml because they are quite pricey, but I got this for like a super steal. It was released in 2015. Some of the notes are lemon, Taif rose, Damask rose, patchouli, Peru balsam, and cedar. And Rose de Taif, to me, it is a very like almost like spicy type of dirty rose in a sense, but it's a little bit more spicy to me. So I have this one at number 9 this time, but it is an awesome rose scent. Any of these in the top 10 I think are really great rose scents that you would want to check out. And so there we go, let's keep it moving. Number 8 on the list is one that I had to put on here. Actually, this is like a late entry, but I put it on at number 8 just because I don't really view it as much, but the rose is definitely there once you get past the animalics of it. And this one is from the house of Dusita. This is Oudh Infini. This one is insane. Unfortunately, it has been recently discontinued. I don't think the price has ever gone up on it, but I got this one 50% off. It was one I was not planning to have in my collection just because of the price. They had it locally, 50% off. Unfortunately, they don't carry the brand anymore. But I'm glad that I got it. I'm happy I got this. So the notes on this one, it was released in 2016. Notes on it are Laotian Oud, Rose de Mai, Sandalwood, Benzoin, Civet, and Vanilla. And this one is a Civet bomb. It is a Civet bomb. But once you get past that, then that's when the rose starts to come out, and it's a little bit of sweetness from the benzoin and the vanilla, but the rose is definitely there. This one is more, I'm always skeptical when companies put oud in the name or anything in the name to highlight it, because it has other notes in it and they usually don't mean that. And the animalicness that comes from Oudh Infini definitely comes from the Civet, and maybe not the oud. I don't know, you tell me what you think. But it is just an extremely strong scent. But once you get past getting used to the animalic nature of it, the rose does come out, but it is secondary to the Civet and the oud in the fragrance. But the rose is there, that's why I put it on the list. Moving on. Number 7 on the list is from the house of Amouage, and this one is Lyric Woman. But this one is a 50 ml Extrait to Parfum concentration. I've been coming up on Extraits lately. So I got the gold Extrait, and then I found this one, which is a newer version because it has the magnetic top like the gold. But I did have one that had the non-magnetic top as well, the older one. But I felt like this one gave me what I wanted from the fragrance, this newer one. This was released in 2008. The notes on it are cardamom, cinnamon, rose, geranium, ylang-ylang, orris root, incense, sandalwood, and tonka bean are some of the notes. This is a very deep rosy type scent. It's not just super rose forward, it's a little bit more resinous than anything. A lot of people say that, especially men, said they seem to like this one, the Lyric Woman, more than the Lyric Man. I can see that definitely, but I did not put that above the Lyric Man for sentimental value, which I'll tell you about. So let's keep it moving. Number 6 on the list, unfortunately, is not in the top 5. I wish it was one. Maybe they would come out with an Extrait of this. I don't know what if I would get it. And this one is Lyric Man from Amouage. Lyric Man from Amouage. This is one of my first like hyped up rose scents that I had ever got. It's also my wedding scent. This one was also released in 2008. This one has lime, rose, orange blossom, saffron, nutmeg, geranium, and sandalwood are some of the notes. Again, I had to put this above the women's one just for sentimental value. I did wear it the other day and I enjoyed wearing it a lot. This one, it does have that citrusness at the top, and it has the rose playing in there, but there's so many other things playing around with this scent. It's not just like boom, rose, but it is a floral, rosy type of scent. I do like it. It's not as deep and resinous as the women's one, but I wouldn't say that this one is feminine per se. But I don't have it in the top 5 this time, but it always will have to stay on my list and in my collection. Moving on. Number 5 on the list is one that it doesn't last. I mean, it doesn't project a lot, but it's one of my favorite rose scents, bar none. I really enjoy this scent a lot. I did do a review on it. It's from the house of Stefan Humbert Lucas, and this one is Rose de Petra. So Rose de Petra, this one right here was released in 2013. This is another rose scent that has lychee or lychee, pomegranate, Bulgarian rose, cardamom, pepper, and cumin. This one to me isn't as like peppery or spicy as the Perris Monte Carlo one, but the spiciness in there, this is more of a dirty rose to me. This one definitely feels like it has dirt on the rose. I like this one. It has a lot of character. I just wish that it projected more. As I said, I think in either a previous or a later video that I'll mention, a spot here was doing 50% off sale. Since I smashed through so much of it, you know, if I have a couple extra bucks and if it's still around, I may just go ahead and get another bottle, because when I did the review on this, I smashed a lot of it. But I love this scent a lot. This is a very good rose scent. If you like rose dominant fragrances, you should definitely check this one out. Moving on. Number 4 on my list comes from the house of Andy Tower. This is probably my favorite Andy Tower fragrance. It's actually the only one that I own at this time, and this one is Rose Flash. This one is just rose and resins, and boy, is it just rose and resins. This is a great scent for the price and for the scent. This one is just a no-brainer. If you like rose scents, you should definitely have this one in your collection. Definitely try to sample it if you can. There are, I believe it seems as though Rose Flash and Vanilla Flash are the only ones that are still available. And the other ones may have been discontinued, like Incense Flash, Patchouli Flash, and so on and so forth. But this one is great. But I will tell you that the difference between this one and Vanilla Flash is that Rose Flash is a parfum concentration. It is not the vanilla is an eau de parfum, so I'll keep that in mind. This is a very strong rose and resinous scent. It's very good. Moving on. Number 3 on the list comes from the house of Ormond Jane, and this one is Taif Elixir. So Taif has appeared 3 times on this list so far. So, but this one I had to pick up. I originally wanted the eau de parfum, and then I found the elixir on sale. I remember testing the normal Taif, and then I wanted to try the elixir because I just thought it was like a stronger concentration, and then blam, I was hit with a blast of Oudh, which caught my attention. But this one was released in 2019. Notes on it are dates, pink pepper, saffron, rose oil, jasmine, Cambodian oud. What I like about this compared to other oud rose combination type of scents is that this one is a true rose scent that has oud in it. It's not an oud fragrance that has rose in it. It's a rose fragrance that has oud in it. It's definitely dominated by a rose scent sweetened with the dates, and then it has a little bit of funkiness from the oud, but you definitely move past that. It's a strong scent. I do like this more than the normal Taif. If I were to get it for like a deal or something like that, I would pick it up, but this one just has a little bit more character to separate it from other like rose fragrances. And so that's my number 3. Moving on. All right, number 2 on my list, I believe, was my number 1 last year. And this one is coming from the house of Javoy. This is another one of those Extrait parfums. Javoy doesn't do a lot of extraits, and this one is called Rose Millésime. So this one I still enjoy a lot. I haven't worn it in a long time, but every time I smell it, it's just the most jammy rose that you can find. Super jammy rose. The notes on it, well, first it was released in 2017. Notes on it are clove, candied apple, centifolia rose, so that's the main thing, white musk, and Bulgarian rose. So those are the notes off of the site. This is my favorite Javoy fragrance. I think the only other one that I own is Litchi Desires. And this one is just a fun, super jammy rose. If you don't like jammy rose, you won't like this. Today it's my number 2, or this year, I don't know if I'll do a list this year. This year is my number 2, so let's see what made my number 1. My number 1 is from the house of Frederick Malle. This is one that is going through a name change apparently, and this one is called Un Rose. Un Rose. This is a 50 ml. I really like these 50 ml bottles. If I ever get Frederick Malls, I'm just get 50 ml. I like the way that they look, and I just try to get smaller bottles. They changed the name to Rose Tonnerre because it has the same notes. Oudh Rose was released in 2003. This one has rose, red wine, geranium, honey, and truffle. The reason why I put this one at number 1 over Rose Millésime is that that one is a super jammy, sweet rose. This one is real rose oil. This is real rose with a backdrop of truffle. Like I said, even though it has a geranium in there, you can smell, if you smelled real rose oil before, like I said, Taif rose or something like that, you'll know it when you smell it. And this one has real rose in it. This is the rose fragrance right now. This is the real deal. If you really like a rose dominated scent with real rose, like no frills, this is definitely one to get. Like I said, Rose Millésime, it is rose, but it's super jammy and it's super sweet. This one is more serious, and it's not, even though it has these other notes, you get them a little bit on the dry down, but in the opening and out the nozzle, you can smell that it has actual real rose in it. Not that the other ones don't, but this is the main star in it for sure. So this is my number 1 this year, Oudh Rose from Frederick Mall. When I found out they did the name change, and I read some some reviews about whether there's differences or not, because I actually tried Rose Tonnerre first, and then the guy told me there was a name change, blah blah blah, and I liked the way that it smelled. I would have gotten that. And when I went online, I saw that on the website they had some 50 ml Oudh Rose, so I just ordered it off the website locally and got it from Bloomingdale's. So they still had some. So to me, there wasn't much of a difference. I would have gotten either had it not been available, but we're always trying to hunt down things that are discontinued or hard to find. So that's just what I did. So that's my number 1. Those are my top 10 or top 13 rose based fragrances that I have in my collection. I got into rose like soon as I got to the Middle East. Once I started getting into perfumes, since it's so big here, seeing as though the Middle East is the birthplace of perfumery. And then when the guy was telling me about how men wear rose here and women, they'll wear like deer musk and things like that, that got me intrigued into just trying out rose scents, being confident enough to be able to wear rose dominated scents. So it is one of my favorite notes for sure. If you have any favorite rose based fragrances, please let me know in the comments. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one, guys. Peace.